Hello, my name is Devin Hudson. I'm here to tell you about a lesson that I taught at I3 Academy Middle School, where I taught 6th grade social studies for 4 years. So the title of my lesson was Redesign and Redlining, and it came out of just an inquiry based on what was happening during the early 1920s and 30s. Of course, following the standards, there's a time in there where you have to talk about stock market crash and the Great Depression, and I just wanted to explore some things that kind of happened as a result of that. Birmingham has this kind of nickname for being the most segregated city, and so of course we got to have some kind of history with a practice like redlining. What kind of things can I find out specifically from Birmingham, and being in the area where I was, could I find something out for Woodlawn or Eastlake or wherever my school was located? So when they go back home, what can they see? What kind of comparisons can they make based on what happened back then and what's happening now? Although the stock market crash and the Great Depression affected everyone, redline was, essentially an attack at African Americans and minorities. And so I kind of wanted them to see what I call hidden inequality. I wanted them to see that because, it's different than white only, black only water fountain or a restroom or waiting station. Those are things that you can see. How do these communities look and why do they look the way that they look? We took a field trip one time to the Bethel Baptist Church over in Collegeville. And on the way there, we're riding the bus, but on the way there, we're passing by all kind of factories, all kind of vacant lots, roads are bumpy. So say, hey, why do you think this place looks the way it does? What makes these neighborhoods nice? And what makes these neighborhoods not so nice? They point out things like, well, they got these kind of stores, these kind of restaurants, the streets look nice, they have sidewalks, they have trees, they have X, Y, Z. And so when we get to the not so nice neighborhoods, it's pretty much just the opposite. So we do our analysis. We make like full list of what neighborhoods look like, and then I let them know, hey, there was a system for this. I pulled up this map from DSL Richmond EDU, and it was a redlining map, and I just let them explore. Go around Birmingham, go to these different communities and neighborhoods, and see what ranking they have and why they haven't. Because once you click on a certain area, different facts and figures will pop up, like the concentration of people that live there, what kind of jobs they work, what's in the area, what type of businesses exist, and what the outlook on the area will be, within the next couple of years. They actually went back to the list that they made of all the things that you found in those bad neighborhoods with things that you found in those good neighborhoods. And so we talked about the importance of having trees and outside spaces and things. And we looked at a map which kind of measured tree equity score. So after that, after we looked at the maps and we kind of drew certain conclusions, so now it's time to kind of imagine. And so I introduced them to this platform called KaiXR. This is an extended reality platform, and you can give them something that was, relevant to their world, which is technology. So I say, we're going to use KaiXR, and we're going to create neighborhoods that would be considered green, because now you know what a green neighborhood looks like. So I just wanted them to think of things in everyday life. You can use whatever you want to create this neighborhood, and it was so good because I didn't have to spend a lot of time creating a rubric, because we essentially had created one when we, listed all the things that made it bad and made it good. So at the end of the lesson, the students were able to produce 3D models through the KaiXR platform. So once they produced their designs, now it's time to present and grade. They did the reflections, the peer-to-peer reflections. They got up and presented. After that, we took an interesting turn, because I wanted them to see, well, how things progressed over time and kind of not changed. And so we kind of fast forward up into the 60s, where the Children's Crusade is going on. The podcast kind of arrived out of a student empowerment kind of thing. that's what we wanted to kind of instill in them, was that they have the power to change things. And so we start talking about this thing called the Children's Crusade. The children become the forefront of this movement. And within it, we learn about Dr. Jacqueline Jackson.
All right, Darius. Do you remember anything from the march?
In 1963, I was 11 years old. How old are you now?
12.
12. So I was a year younger than you. We wanted to eat at the Woolworth. We wanted to go into the shops and buy clothes, and we weren't allowed to do that. It's called Jim Crow. It's called segregation. And in 1963, we decided that was enough. We weren't going to take being second-class citizens anymore.
And so it was incredible and important for them to see Dr. Jackson, because she is someone who did it then for them now. And so all of the opportunities that they have now, they could kind of credit to a person standing in the room with them. And she was great. I mean, any question we asked, she gave it to us. Advice, she gave it to us. Great storyteller. It's just amazing how that all came together. And so when she gives us that little advice about, this is what you can do to help the movements that you're in now, that's when, it's like this roof just blows off the place. So we use, a couple of primary sources. The biggest one was the redlining map. I found it on dslrichmond.edu. And that map was important because it put us in focus of where we were. And it was, great that it had Birmingham on there, but it was so important for us because we could focus on our own area. We are in Birmingham. I'm teaching this lesson in Birmingham. These kids are from Birmingham. This happened in Birmingham. And so to have that was really special and really important for the project. As a teacher, anybody who wants to do a lesson, it's important to go into a mindset of what can they learn? What's the end goal? What do I want them to learn at the end of this? And then that's where all your fun will build in. That's where all your engagement will build in. And if there's any resources that you don't know about, go out there and find them. I mean, the possibilities are endless. And reach out to me.